Yes, you are worried. Yes, it's a matter of concern for all of you. Yes, it's the first time you are facing this. Yes, it has been a great journey. It has been a long journey of you to get accustomed to this system. But at the end of it, you have to. You must. There is no other alternative. And to assist you in this journey of adjustment, to assist you with this journey of coping up with the new structure which has been introduced by the Institute of Cost Accountants of India, guys, I have with me Shivangi Agarwal ma'am, an renowned faculty of law who teaches law to CMA final and inter students. Guys, Shivangi ma'am will be an appropriate person to answer all your queries regarding the online examination, especially your concern of how to attempt descriptive type questions in law paper. Yes, both of us know that descriptive type questions are more in their quantum as far as law is concerned as compared to any other subject. So that is a concern for most of you, and I've been receiving endless messages from you to guide you on how to appear in the online examination, especially the descriptive part of it. But before that, let me tell you a very interesting fact. So just to reiterate, I have been harping upon a fact that CMA students must not take coaching from any faculty who's teaching any other professional course, because yes, the course content is almost similar, but the depth and breadth in which the content is covered in CMA study material by the Institute of Cost and Management Accountants of India, guys, that is absolutely different in CMA versus CA or CS or MBA or any other professional course. And my endeavor has always been to launch and to introduce you to teachers who are teaching exclusively, who are preparing classes exclusively for CMA students and separate classes for CMA students. And yes, Shivangi ma'am is one of such faculties who teaches CMA students separately. Guys, you'll get lectures separately for the subject of law for inter and final, and more so specifically, guys, in English. Yes, a year back, I had launched my classes in English, especially for South Indian students. I don't want South Indian students to suffer because of the language barrier. And almost 1 year back, I had a word with Shivangi ma'am, who was of the same thought process that yes, sir, we should launch classes in English also for CMA students, exclusively for CMA students. And yes, Shivangi ma'am is here with all of us. Guys, Shivangi ma'am has introduced law CMA final exclusively in English language for CMA students. So guys, make best use of it. So I welcome you, Shivangi ma'am, to my channel, and thank you so much for taking this great initiative of introducing classes in English for CMA students. And I know, ma'am, you will definitely give some inaugural offers to my students, to all the CMA students who are watching this channel. So guys, if you are taking any coaching of CMA, definitely for law, you can consider Shivangi ma'am, and especially in English language and in English language, both the languages classes are available. Make best use of it. So ma'am, a direct question, ma'am, how do you see this descriptive type questions, which is more in your subject? It is of approximately 45 marks, and the mock test paper which has happened recently, students have informed me that almost 48 marks of descriptive type questions are there in law, in which you need to type on a keyboard. So ma'am, two aspects which I want you to comment on. Number one, ma'am, how to maintain speed while typing these descriptive type questions, because now writing will be replaced by typing. So how to maintain that speed? And secondly, how do you want students to answer the questions, because the word limit is confined to 2000 words per answer. So what do you think should the student be concerned of or take care while writing, especially the descriptive type questions?
So actually, considering both these facts, that first of all, students are not so well versed with the typing part, right? Because they have been practicing answers by using pen and paper, right? So we understand this shift, but we have to adjust with it. And moreover, there's a word limit that we have witnessed. So keeping both these points in mind, my advice would be to keep in mind the keywords. Let's say, for example, we are talking about any section, say, for example, section 164, which talks about disqualification of directors. Now, usually what I teach my students that you should present your answer in such a way, according to section 164, a person is eligible. Like, you should frame your sentences in a way which is more presentable, right? But now my advice is absolutely different. I would suggest that come straight to the point. You're not being judged for framing sentences or in a beautiful manner because you have time limit. You have less. You cannot type so fast. So instead of framing your long answers, stick to the keywords and go direct straight to the answer. That disqualification of directors. And one thing that I have noticed is that bullets is not possible, but certainly you can write ABC, you can write 1, 2, 3, or if you know there's a dash that you can use, right?
Right.
Enter is possible, so you can keep proper spacing, you can change the paragraphs. So you can present your answer in a clean manner, and it is, I think, an advantage for the students who do not have very good handwriting. So
Right.
handwriting is going to play no role,
Right.
but you have to keep your answers short, crisp, and clear.
Right.
You elaborate your answers as we suggest you to.
So, ma'am, the orthodox way or the earlier way of the erstwhile way of presenting law examination, which I used to learn from my teacher, was that split your answers into 3 sections. Section number 1, the provision of law that you need to tell in a very simple short 1 line. Section number 2, where you are going to analyze the facts per the provision of law. Section number 3, where you are going to conclude your answer combining your section number 1 and section number 2. So, ma'am, do you suggest the same way of attempting the answers?
It still goes. We have to divide our answer into paragraphs, right? We need to keep proper spacing. If we merge the whole answer into just one paragraph, I don't think just one enter is going to take just one space, right? So it is not going to hamper your answers or your word limit. Certainly, you must change the paragraphs. So, as I have always suggested to attempt case study based questions, it's going to be the same way. But yes, we can keep it short. We don't need to elaborate answers, and we do not need to repeat the words again and again. So we can keep it short, and certainly the way of presenting should be the same. So that examiner at once knows, yes, it is it.
And ma'am, would keeping the answers short hamper our probability of gaining marks? Because say a question of 8 marks, earlier we used to fill at least 2 or 3 pages for an 8 marks question. Now if we keep our answers short, is there a probability or a risk that we might lose marks in that particular question?
No, I absolutely deny that, because it is a professional course. It is not any graduation course or any course in which you need to actually fill in pages. I have always told my students that you have to keep your answers clear, right? Only the presentation part is that sometimes we need to elaborate our answers, because if it is a 4 marks, we do not feel so much justified that, okay, we have only this much content to write and it's a 4 marks. So we should we twist and turn the same line and write it. So that is what has to be avoided. Otherwise, it has to be absolutely crisp, clear, and short. It is for their benefit only. Because if they go on to elaborate their answers, they will actually lose out on their time and they will not be able to attempt the full paper.
Right.
So I believe it's not going to at all deduct marks.
Okay.
Really.
Okay. So, ma'am, this was about the descriptive type questions. Now, coming on to the MCQs, which will be coming in the examination. Ma'am, now, one negative point about MCQs is that you have to be bang on correct. You cannot beat around the bush. And law is such a subject that provision, section, then subsection, then probably clauses, then probably provisos, and it goes on and on and on endlessly. Now, how would a student, MCQ can be made even from a single word or a single line. How a student can ensure that he is covering the entire syllabus, at the same time he is also remembering each and every point, each and every proviso, each and every subsection to attempt the MCQs?
See, so what happens is that it is, although there's a myth that it is a theory subject, but I completely believe that it's a practical subject. So only conceptual and in-depth conceptual understanding can help you ace over those MCQs. Because if you just practice 10, 20 MCQs, it's not going to help. And if you have done just that prima facie study that, okay, I know this provision, that's it, it's not going to help you at all in the case study based MCQs. Because if you know the provision, fine, you can read the provision as it is. But if it is twisted and made it in case study form, then you need to understand it to answer. So I think it's very important that they have that conceptual understanding and they actually know what the provision says. They have interpreted the provision appropriately. Then only they will be able to answer. And definitely you ask as many questions you can. Certainly the but right, sir. Go ahead.
Which means that days are gone where ratification was the key to success in law paper. Now a student has to understand the provisions well. And yes, considering case studies will form a major chunk of law paper, guys, don't worry about ratification of the entire section. You have to not reproduce the section verbatim. Am I right, ma'am, that we don't have to reproduce? So verbatim, you don't have to reproduce the sections, the provisions, the provisos or the subsections. So ratification is definitely not the key to success anymore. Now you need to have in-depth knowledge of the subject of all the provisions to attempt the case studies. And ma'am, in your book and in your lectures, are you covering case studies of various chapters which are concerning law?
Certainly, sir. On all the topics, we are covering case study based questions. Like, in fact, I have designed my material in such a way that after we read a topic, we practice some questions. Like, we discuss the questions in the class so that students are able to understand what type of questions can be asked. And the perspective also increases that, okay, we can look at the situation in this way also. So between we have questions after every topic, and at the end, definitely we have lots of questions.
Great. So guys, ample opportunity for you to practice. A, institute study material. I know revised study material has not come by as yet, but still the erstwhile study material has ample MCQs to practice. B, the bit questions which are released or issued by the Vijayawada chapter, those will come definitely very handy to all of you. C, the 6 MTPs which have been issued by the institute study material, by the institute's website and on the portal it has been issued. That material is a very, very strong aid for you to practice. And D, according to me, past 6 years of papers that you can study and practice. And I think, ma'am, please add me if I'm missing on anything. I think this will wholesomely prepare you for the examination.
Certainly, sir, you have covered it all. I think this is the need of the hour, and students must practice all of these if they want to score well. And as they say, experience is a beautiful and a wonderful thing. So experience, I think Institute has taken this initiative of this practicing exams so that students are well versed with the whole system. So I think go out, experience this beautiful thing, and don't panic. Don't get upset that you have to appear suddenly for those online examination. I think it is also a wonderful experience.
Great. So those positive words from ma'am. Guys, don't panic. I know law is one subject which you are, which is giving you shivers right now, which you are most afraid of, because I can gauge from the percentage of queries which I receive on my WhatsApp number. So yes, law is a matter of concern, but don't worry. Just be conceptually strong. Yes, it's the first time that you'll be facing an online exam and you have to write on a keyboard. Let me tell you one very important fact over here, that the time of presenting the answer in an appropriate manner has been saved. So if you take example of any practical subject, I'll take example of say BVM, SPM. Guys, you don't have to make lengthy formats. So that time is being saved. Similarly in law, you don't have to write according to the provisions of section so and so, this. You don't have to write it in so much of great detail. So you save upon that time. So you can invest that time in writing the descriptive type questions, and know your exam will not be incomplete, or you won't be in a situation where you are not able to finish your exam on time, because the students who have given MTPs in last week or last 2 weeks, they have informed me that the paper was set in a manner that it was completed within the stipulated time period. So Shivangi ma'am, any other tip, any last words for all the students who are appearing in December, turned to January 2021 attempt of CMA final and inter for preparation of law? Any last thoughts, any last tips which you would like to give to all of us?
I think one question which I often receive from students, I think you must also have received the same queries, is about section number. So students often ask me that, do you think we should quote section numbers? I want to ask the students, why not? Like, why do you frown away so much from the section numbers? I think section numbers at final level are extremely important. Say that don't quote them if you're not sure about it, but at least try to quote them, because if you're not knowing the section number at the final level, then when will you learn it? Because this is the stage of grooming into a professional. So I think by now you should gain that ace over the whole company law or any topic you're studying. So I believe that section numbers are extremely important, although they do not directly affect your marks. That is, if you don't quote the section numbers, I don't think your marks will be deducted. But definitely if you quote the section numbers, you get an upper hand over your answer, right? So I think section numbers are very important. And last minute tip, I don't think I can anything add on. Students are already having a lot of knowledge, and just don't be afraid, and enjoy this phase also. This too shall pass, and all the best for your examination. If there is anything that we can do for you, please drop in the comments, and we'll be helping you in the best possible manner. And I think Nikhil sir is already doing so much for all of you. So we are all thankful to you, sir, and I'm delighted to be on your channel. Thanks once again.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for taking out time for guiding students. And guys, I am definitely not leaving Shivangi ma'am at this juncture. Just for all of you, I am going to try to extract some things from Shivangi ma'am. I will try to extract the important chapters from Shivangi ma'am. And you know what? I have felt this in my educational journey, that during the last days of examination, just before the examination, whenever teachers tells about some chapters, and whenever they quote some chapters, chapter is definitely there in the examination. So Shivangi ma'am, not predicting, or we are not asking you to predict something, or no predictions, or no crystal ball gazing, but according to you, in CMA final, what are the 3 most important chapters or topics maybe which a student must do to secure good marks?
Sir, I don't think I'll quote any chapters over here. Yes, I would certainly mention that there are certain topics like SEBI, ICDR, producer companies, and insurance companies. These are the topics which are highly neglected by students.
Right.
Because they're not the common topics with the CA final syllabus. So these are the topics which are highly neglected. And one thing that I've noticed in the MTP is that you have a lot of questions from these chapters.
Okay.
Some very direct questions in the descriptive type, where you can, you are just being given, write a short note on this. So if such type of questions are asked in your examination, it is a golden opportunity for you. You don't have to do anything. But what if you haven't even read that topic? So don't ignore those topics. And definitely, directors is one such topic which you should do very, very, very thoroughly. And I am again not going to quote any chapter over here, because I believe that it actually deviates a student.
Thank you
because
so much, ma'am.
Something students are going to leave all other chapters and they'll focus on the chapter which I have suggested.
Yes.
So this is something that I'm not going to do over here. My apologies for the same. And yes, I want to tell you something about my course, that is CMA Final. As sir has already mentioned, There are certain things that I want to add on to it. First of all, my course, which I have designed, CMA Final Law, it is absolutely 100% coverage according to our CMA syllabus. So you don't have to worry about it at all. Because I've often seen students that when they buy the course, ma'am, will we get this particular topic? I said, yes, of course you will. If it is there in your course, you'll get everything. Apart from that, it is available in both the languages. We have MCQs, we have practical questions. I have handwritten charts for you. So they are my own design charts for helping you revise every topic. And definitely you have my full query support and completely amended lectures. So you can try it once, and I think shortly we will even be able to push a demo lecture, sir. What do you suggest?
Perfect, ma'am. Absolutely. We need demo lectures. We need your guidance. On
So
all
we
the
are going to push a demo lecture for you, so you can watch it and you can decide. And as of now, just focus on your exams.
Perfect, ma'am. Perfect. Ma'am, before we sign off, if I sign off at this juncture, then, CMA Inter students will almost kill me with their messages. So I won't leave the CMA Inter students aloof. Ma'am, don't name the chapters again. We don't want the chapters from you. But from a CMA Inter perspective, which topics do you think are critical for January 2021 attempt?
Again, you are leaving me in a fix, right? You want something out of me. I really don't think any important chapters, but yes, certainly company law is something which you must, because that is one such area wherein a lot of case studies can be formed. If you talk about other acts, mostly direct questions are asked. So company law is one such area where you should gain some grip.
Great. So yes, that was a piece of advice from Shivangi ma'am for both CMA Inter and final students. Of course, not a thing to divert you from your entire syllabus and focus you on these few topics, but yes, make these topics much more into your revision as compared to the other topics. That is the only aim which these last moment tips are going to help you with. So yes, with that positive note and that amazing session with Shivangi ma'am with all her tips, guys, do not worry about law, because you are thinking a lot about law. That is the main problem which I am seeing currently. You are thinking a lot. You've made a block in your head about law and all the online examination and the descriptive type part of it. Once you give the MTPs, I am very sure, and you have faced yourself and you have seen yourself, you'll be very comfortable with even 45 marks of descriptive which has been incorporated in law subject in the MTPs. So do not worry. Online is the future. Online is the present. Those students who are going to give in June 21 or December 21, online is for all of you. So start regulating your mind in that direction. On that positive note, thanking Shivangi ma'am for her valuable time and advice. All the very best and happy studying.